Hey guys, what's up? This is Bry. Happiest of Monday mornings to you. I'm 2 hours and 34 minutes into my deep work. Slept in a little bit today. Actually took a 15-minute break with the family before hitting this. Lots to talk about. I want to talk about the class I just prepared for that I'm going to film in the barn studio today. Our seventh fundamental, prospering. We have eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, focusing, celebrating, and then prospering, which literally means to move forward with hope. But first, let's do the quick morning routine or check-in. Then we're going to look at the little hero bar and then reflect on that. And then we're also going to talk about some Navy SEAL wisdom as well. Let's go. So, very happy, readiness, sleep. Slept more than normal, or more than I have been, and I actually slept less than normal before, but same basic zone of resting heart rate variability. But sleep is interesting today. So let's talk about that for a bit. I wound up being in bed for 10 hours. If you look back, you'll see that I was only in bed for 8.5 hours last night, which is actually a little bit less than normal for me. 8 hours, 7 hours of sleep isn't my normal. I usually like to get a little more. So what's interesting is I needed a little more sleep. So I caught up on it. Now I do not wake up to an alarm. I haven't in years. I'll set one, the very rare times when I travel and I need to get up at a certain time, I'll set it. Otherwise, I don't have an alarm. That literally means it's like emergency alarm. Like the etymology of that word is crazy. So you don't want to wake up to an emergency. That's just sympathetic nervous system. And if you need an alarm, that's a sign you aren't getting enough sleep. So ideally, we set an alarm for the night before. A bedtime alarm is one of the ways that Ariana Huffington and others describe it. Check out the notes and check out optimize.me/sleep for more goodness on this. But anyway, I was in bed for longer. I got more sleep, and I got like a crazy amount of REM and deep sleep, which is interesting because if you notice, I didn't get as much REM sleep in the last couple nights. Deep was pretty good. But the REM and deep was great there, but the REM was a little bit low the last few nights. Okay, fine. My body needed a little bit more, gave me a little bit more. How you doing? And again, same rituals, same basic thing. Sometimes I'll sleep, a different amount than other times. So that's kind of what I got out of that. Again, whether you use Aura, use a Fitbit, use whatever. I used to use literally I got this stack of thick note cards. I used to write down what time I went to sleep, what time I got up, and I would just put it down every single night. And I'd see, boom, and I'd kind of keep track of how I felt. Now, I like the Aura a lot more because I get true data across the board on those different data points. So, there we go. I'm already 99 burpees in. I'll spare you the burpees. As always, started out with, hey, look, success, highlight reel. We want to have a breakfast of champions. Read a nice little testimonial from the stack. Someone saying that they appreciate how much we've up-leveled our game and that I've honed and condensed my message into a fine-tuned sledgehammer. I like that. I'll feast on that. Then I do my journaling, right? So this is what I do. So destiny, I got a very clear target for myself of 1,000 philosopher's notes. I've got some goals that come out of that. And then I reflect on the wisdom and the self-mastery and the other virtues I'm going to embody. And then we've got the identity, the virtues, the behavior. So it's athlete, energy, work, and love. Big 3 times 2. Athlete, philosopher, soulmate. I'm disciplined, I'm prolific, I'm connected. Every single morning I hit on this. Again, we require our coaches to do this consistently if they want to be certified and remain certified. And then what am I going to do today to crush it across these different domains? And I got very specific goals there. And then let's celebrate. Let's think about what's awesome energy-wise, work-wise, and love-wise. I feel blessed that my energy is as great as it is. I can give myself to my work, that I get to do this, hang out with you virtually. That's amazing. I'm going to take a moment to celebrate that, which was the whole point of our fundamental last time. And then I want to be connected, and I'm going to celebrate the fact that I am to my wife, to my kids, etc. Why I do all this every single day brings us back to what we talked about with the SEALs. So again, I did a talk with their mental performance group, got a tour of their facilities, which was highlight reel, lifetime memory, etc. And Mags, the guy who runs mentorship there, gave me this card, which they give to their BUDS graduates, which has the U.S. Navy SEAL code on it, right? Super powerful stuff. So now this main idea here is they go through the SEAL training and then it's day one. They need to earn the hardest military training currently and arguably in history, although the Spartans were pretty hardcore, but just nuts, right? But they're not done then. Then they need to earn their trident, which is the symbol of the SEALs, every day, which is why I do this every single day. I don't take this for granted. You need to earn your trident every day if you want to truly be the best version of you in service to the world. So boom, there you go. I have this in my little wallet thing right before my credit card. So I pull that out every single time before I do anything transactionally. I'm also keeping track of my time. Someone asked me to break down my day in 15-minute increments. Well, here you go. It started the night before. My last meal yesterday was 3:30. Went to bed at 8:32. Got up at 6:46. Boom, boom, boom. And then so far this morning, did my meditation, did the deep work, took a little break, and now here I am doing this. So I'll walk through that in one of these sessions. So, how to be prosperous. That's the main focus today. Investing in Optimus U Public Benefit Corporation and going forward with hope to create an heroic fire that lights the world. That's the basic idea here. So it's kind of a hybrid of Abundance 101, a class I taught, Optimal Business 101, and just all these ideas around truly prospering emotionally, financially, spiritually, etc. So the first and most important thing to know is the word prosper etymologically means to go forward with hope. Prospere. So the root of hope is in this, spur, right? So pro means to go forward with hope. We got Emerson stroking his chicken. Chickens are making the cameos. So to prosper literally means to go forward with hope. It's not a measure of your bank balance, how much you're worth. It's a measure of your spirit. Are you going forward with hope? And you know what the opposite of prosper is? It's not poor, unless you're thinking poor in spirit. It's despair. To be without hope is to despair. You can be prosperous or you can be desperate. So we need to revisit the science of hope. What's up, buddy? We need to revisit the science of hope, which we're going to do in the class. We're going to go off on what it means to have hope. We're going to help you set very, very clear goals, remembering that happy people have projects, soul goals, wildly important targets, blah, blah, blah. Then we're going to have a vocab lesson. Words matter. You can give people a crossword puzzle, and if it has words associated with elderly people and aging, they will move more slowly as they leave the experimenter's lab. Crazy, Ellen Langer research. So we're going to have 11 words that start with pro, which means to go forward. Prosper, profit. Profit literally means to make progress. It's amazing. Protocol. Then we're going to talk about some other of my favorite words. Then we're going to say, look, Optimus U, you are a public benefit corporation. Your number one asset is you, which is why your most important meetings will always be energy, work, and love with yourself. Your board of directors, it's your heroes. Put them on there. Your CEO, your boss is your daimon, the best version of you, and your chairman is God, whatever you call that higher force within yourself. We'll talk about conscious capitalism as well. Why we Optimize Enterprises are a public benefit corporation, and how I think business is a force for good. Then we're going to talk about your investment strategy. Did you know the word invest literally etymologically means to clothe yourself? Invest, right? Vestment is clothes. To clothe yourself. That's what an investment is. I'm going to suggest your job with the capital J is to have profound dignity and profound service. Be so good they can't ignore you. That's your investment strategy. We're going to have fun with that. Then we're going to do eudaimonic accounting. There's normal accounting, looking at the balance sheet in terms of material assets. Then there's spiritual accounting, eudaimonic accounting. We want to appreciate your assets. We'll review the fact that what you appreciate increases in value. We're going to capitalize mistakes. All those mistakes you made, those aren't liabilities. Those are assets. My gray whiskers, I earned them. I'm not going to waste them. Then we're going to pay off our liabilities. And I'm going to suggest that your only real liabilities are your bad habits. So create new habits. Pay them off by creating new habits. We'll have fun with that. And then we're going to say, look, you're right on schedule. Quit comparing yourself to other people. Envy is toxic. And write yourself a 5-year prospectus. Prospectus literally means to look forward. to look forward and then to go forward with hope. That's what it's all about. So what does your ideal life look like in 5 years? I actually have a 200 week, now 198 week, Eleanor is fired up this morning, prospectus I'll share in the class. What's yours? What's your ultimate target that you want to hit? What are you going to do on a day-to-day basis to hit it? Are you measuring it and are you doing it consistently? That's how you move forward with hope and achieve prosperity on both a spiritual and a material level. 7, profit. As I said, this means literally to make progress. So when you have a prospectus and you go forward with hope, guess what happens? You make progress plus, or you regress, which is the opposite of progress and the opposite of profit. That's your loss. You regress. Don't regress. Progress. We're going to talk about profit and how important it is, but we'll leave that for another discussion. And we want to get you to a minimum viable profit. So this is a mastery series class for our coaches. You want to be a professional coach? Fantastic. What's your minimum viable profit? How much money do you need to make in order to do this professionally on a full-time basis if that's your goal? We're going to go get so good they can't ignore you. Then we're going to map out a plan so you can be profitable to be useful and maintain your professional practice, etc. Then we're going to talk about lighting idiosyncratic heroic fires. I'm going to talk about what's known as the FIRE movement briefly, which is financial independence, retire early. Although we take it to the next level, heroic fires. We want financial integrity so we can realize eudaimonia. Yeah, retiring early is cool, but you know what's a lot cooler? Realizing your ultimate purpose, eudaimonia. So we're going to talk about that, having financial strength for 2. Simple stuff, living below your means, being willing to ignore what society is telling us to do while putting all of your resources that you can into your own actualization. We'll share some stories there. 9th idea is anti-fragile propellant. You need to fuel the fire that you light here. We got to be anti-fragile again. Not fragile, not resilient, anti-fragile. We get stronger the more we get kicked around. And then we want a propellant. Propellant literally means to push forward. I'm going to talk about, when I filmed this version of it last year, I had just watched the Fast and Furious movie. And they've got this like turbo boost propellant. So it was really funny. Last night, or yesterday evening I should say, I watched The Last Dance. Episode 4, I think it was. Michael Jordan got beat by the Detroit Pistons 2 years in a row and got beat up by them. He used that as an anti-fragile propellant. He got stronger, literally put on 10, 15 pounds of muscles. Boom. Next year, done. World championship. Swept the Lakers. Go Bulls. And then 10th and finally, we're going to turn pro, which literally means to turn forward. We're going to approach all of our challenges, strive to be world-class professionals at what we do, whatever that is. When? Today. Why? So we can master ourselves, so we can serve heroically and empower others to do the same, so we can change the world one person at a time together, starting with you and me. Today. Make today another awesome day. See you.